Welcome back, we the people. We're here on chapter 18 of the book of Revelation, the Hell's Holy Injiyl, and we're on verse 5. King James mistranslation. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Close quotation. Dr. York's right translation and explanation. For her sins have piled on top of each other, so that they reach right up to the Orion skies, and the Theos remembers her wrongdoings. Verse 6. King James mistranslation. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. Close quotation. Dr. York's right translation and further explanation. Reward her the likes she rewarded you. The harlot will suffer the same treatment she inflicted upon the innocent and righteous souls, and give her twice as much, that the likes of her own works, in a glass which is mixed with a mixture of our own sins. This is the same cup of fornication and abominations that the harlot is described as holding in her hand in Revelation chapter 17 verse 4. New Babylon, America, is going to be taken care of the way she has taken care of the Nubian for all these years. The pain, suffering, and heartaches she has inflicted will return upon her. The time has come for Babylon to reap what she has sown, but she will receive it double-fold. Right now, she is pouring the cup of destruction from which she will drink. In her endeavor to destroy the Nubian race, her plan has backfired on her. She tried to kill us off with drugs, but didn't think that our own kids would be dying from overdoses also. She is losing her kids to evil worship and rock music, with the latest being the black, in brackets, Nubian, close bracket, man's heavy metal, in quotations, hip-hop, close quotations. Everything that they created to harm Nubians has turned around and began to attack them. She destroyed the ozone layer, poisoned the air and water, and has generally broken down the ecological makeup of the planet Earth, causing her people to be affected adversely by the sun. The Amorites are literally dropping dead from overexposure to the sun rays. Thus, by her hands, she is causing her very own downfall. Verse 7. This is the reader speaking here. This is why, with these words and readings and explanation by Dr. York, this is why they framed him by using his own kind, or looks like his own kind, people who looks like him, to frame him, and locked him up because of the teachings and the truths that he is putting out to the world as Michael, Melchizedek of this day and time. Continuing reading, King James mistranslation, verse 7. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she hath in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Close quotation. Dr. York's right translation and explanation. As she glorified herself with songs such as, in quotation, America the Beautiful, close quotation, the Star-Spangled Banner, quotation, close quotation, My country tisks of thee, close quotation, and her pledge of allegiance, close quotations, and lived luxuriously in comfort, as that give her suffering and weeping. As much as the harlot glorifies herself, living good in the lap of luxury, she is to receive that much suffering and torment because she says in her heart, as she truly believed it, surely, in quotations, I sit a queen, close quotation, which derived from the Old English word quen, which means, in quotation, a woman prostitute, close quotation. And I am not a widow, revealing the fact that she did not inherit her wealth and status from a dead man, but that she is simply a product of all the previous empires of the evil reptilian. And I am not going to experience any sadness. She truly believes she will never fall. The United States thinks itself to be invincible, but Theos will pass judgment on her, and she will be destroyed. This harlot is symbolic of the Statue of Liberty, the Queen of England, Golda Meir, the Prime Minister of Israel. She petitioned to give the so-called Jews a separate state in Israel, which was broken in 1996 AD by the Jews giving the Palestinians not a part of Israelite or Jewish land, but Bethlehem, a Christian land, which resulted in an uprising of Ethiopians all over Israel, the true Israelites, which will continue in and on until an attempt on the part of these true Israelites to take back the Holy Land. The seat of the Queen is in jeopardy in 1996 AD by the disgrace to the royal family by harlots. And the seat of the false Israelites in Israel is in threat in 1996 AD by the Ethiopian uprising. These are prophecies being fulfilled when it says the queen will be pulled down by our own people. These women represent the harlot because, as leaders of their countries, they succeeded in making the nations of the world partake in her fornications, enjoying her luxuries and assisting her to condemn others to a life of poverty and starvation. There are also other harlots, such as Elizabeth Taylor and Marilyn Monroe, who represents the two harlots who founded the Thule Society, which were Zygmunt and Maria Austich. They tried to represent them with Cher and Madonna, but it didn't work. So they resurrected Marilyn Monroe, and they gave Elizabeth Taylor a second life. She was on the verge of death, and now she looks 20 years younger. Her health is not as bad anymore. They couldn't physically resurrect Marilyn Monroe because she was already dead. So what they did was put out her face all over posters and on stamps, and they even have a computer software program for her. That is how they resurrect their dead. Princess Diana, in brackets Di, and Die, D-I-E, close bracket, is the new harlot. She is the one who was to bring the harlot to the throne. In Revelation 17, chapter 17, verse 4, it says that the harlot was arrayed in gold and precious pearl and stones. And if you go back and check out Princess Di's wedding, she had the most elaborate wedding. They want to dethrone the royal family because they are an embarrassment by bringing scandals about money, sex, infidelity, etc. They are bringing all kinds of attention to them. This is the prophecy of the harlot bringing down the world. That's why they call her Princess Di. D-I-E, die, meaning death. Verse 8. Let's continue recording on the other side, we the people.